Hey, what's up, everybody? Music Nerd here, and back with another tier list video. But this is gonna be very different. Now, usually with these tier lists, I talk about top albums, top songs, all that stuff. But today we're gonna be talking about controversy, and we're gonna be talking about Kanye West, a man who was no stranger to controversy. And believe me, over the past near 20 years of his career, literally, there has never been a dull moment with Kanye West, with what he does. And surely, there will be more controversial and weird moments to come in the future. But as of right now, we're looking at this tier list. I am ranking the most wildest, most what the fuck moments, controversial moments of Kanye West's career thus far. And you look at the tier here's, and I'm ranking from most controversial, which is So Help Me God. Now, I don't know why God is blurred out in hashtags. I think, and ass is also blanked in hashtags. I guess this website doesn't want me to have ass and God. I guess those are offensive words to be on a tier list. But yeah, so this is my tiers. I got So Help Me God as most controversial, then TurboGrafx 16, Swish, Waves, Yandi, and then least controversial, Good Ass Job. Alright? I didn't put every moment on here for good reason. There's a couple moments that I left out on purpose. I'm not going to be talking about, the whole R. Kelly Kanye association. I'm not going to be talking about Kanye West tweeting Bill Cosby's innocent. I just feel like I don't want to make a comment that's going to be taken as offensive to those victims. Alright, so let's get into this bullshit. First thing, the Ray J Kanye West feud. Now, probably one of the more bizarre feuds. Now, and trust me, Kanye has gotten into a lot of bizarre feuds, right? And Ray J is up there, I have to say. Now, for those of you who need some context or who have been living under a rock, Ray J used to date Kim Kardashian. They made a sex tape. Kim Kardashian became very famous after that sex tape. Several years later, Kanye started dating Kim Kardashian. He eventually married and had kids with Kim Kardashian. So, that's the story of that. Ray J kind of went at Kanye a little bit, and Kanye went back at Ray J at Twitter. And then Ray J made a song called I Hit It First, actually bragging that he had sex with Kanye's significant other first. Yes, these are two grown-ass men fighting over who had sex with a woman first. It's unbelievable. Two rich guys, 30 plus rich guys feuding over this stuff. It's amazing. The maturity level is off the roof. But not to be surpassed, of course, is Kanye. Not to be surpassed, but Kanye, he responded on the song Highlights. I think he said in a bar that, yeah, Ray hit it first, but I'm rich. I mean, it's utterly ridiculous. First of all, it doesn't even make sense at all. It's crazy that two 30-year-old grown men are fighting over this stuff. But I'm pretty sure Ray J, he's doing well with the Raycom stuff, the headphones. Ray J's doing pretty well for himself. I think he's rich. So I don't even think that was a good diss back. In my opinion, Ray J, I mean, if I had to pick a winner, I would say it's Ray J. But yeah, was it controversial? No. I mean, it's. I think with these two guys' reputation, I think this was pretty much par for the course. So I'm gonna put this in the Yandi tier. Next one, Kanye West and LeBron James feud, the whole Nike Adidas controversy that came out in late 2015. So Kanye West left Nike, he went to Adidas, with the Yeezys thing. And on his song Facts that came out, he was basically trashing Nike. And one of the bars, he delivered to his good old friend LeBron James. Probably, if you never heard of him, he's probably the most famous basketball player in the world. had a bar for him saying, comparing him to what, a slave? He said Nike paid LeBron 30 mil not to run away. Yeah, he said that. He definitely said that. And as you can imagine, LeBron was not too pleased with this retraction. And I think it's fair to say that they're not on speaking terms right now. And for Kanye West to actually say this in a song dissing LeBron James because of his own feud with Nike, blaming LeBron James had nothing to do with this. He didn't even say anything about this. But mind you, to actually put this in a song, dissing your friend, yeah, not a good look. So I am going to put this in the swish tier. All right, the next one, Kanye West going to TMZ and saying slavery was a choice. Yeah, yep, that happened. Kanye West just rambling and just making all these just off the wall saying things and basically just saying, slaves, they could have ran away, like slaves. I don't know what slaves were doing there. I mean, they had lots of opportunities to run away. So it was a choice. They chose to be imprisoned. They chose to be partake in indentured servitude and have their lives ruined and impact future generations of Africans and African Americans. Yeah, that was a choice. So yeah, as you can imagine, this did not go over well with a lot of people. Yeah, just a brain dead comment. So definitely gonna put this in the so help me God tier. This almost, and I say almost, like killed his career. All right, next one. Kanye West announcing that he would run for president at the VMAs 2015. So, mind you, this is 2015, right? He's getting awarded the Video Vanguard Award by none other than Taylor Swift. And in this speech, Taylor Swift is actually saying Kanye West is an innovator, and yeah, he interrupted me in the VMAs. Wasn't it so crazy that he interrupted me on this stage? And he's such a great friend. And literally, not even a year later, they get into a very high-profile feud that that's its own. That could be its own tier list in itself of how just bizarre that was. But Kanye West, he gets presented this award by Taylor Swift, right? And we think, oh, he's gonna talk about, man, this influenced my music videos, and I'm huge, like Michael Jackson. So many great people won this award, and thank you for helping me celebrate my artistry. But no, he ends the speech by saying he wants to run for president in 2016. And as you can imagine, this made tons of headlines. Now listen, did I take it seriously? No. Do I take him running for president seriously? No, I still don't. Never have, never will. But yeah, this made waves, no pun intended. But not so much where it was like, oh my god, like this is a serious thing. Because another very controversial person would run for president that year. So I don't think that Kanye West beat that guy in the controversy department. So, swish. Yeah, I'm gonna put a waste here. Next one, Kanye West's bizarre Saturday Night Live performance in 2018. So, Kanye West, Saturday Night Live, they have a very checkered history. If you don't know about that, listen to the song Power, and that's pretty self-explanatory. But Kanye West has actually been on Saturday Night Live a lot of times. I think he's one of their most frequent appeared musical guests in the history of the program. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know if he's coming back. It was a good run, but after that performance in 2018, basically holding the SNL cast members hostage. And you look at Kid Cudi in that performance, he was smiling, he was grinning, he was so happy to be on Saturday Night Live, performing with his friend, Kanye. He basically ends his performance as the good nights are rolling, The cast members looking very uncomfortable. His fellow musicians are very uncomfortable. Just going on a political rant, just all this weird stuff. And yeah, it was just very bizarre to see live. Now listen, Saturday Night Live has had a lot of controversial music moments. I don't even think this is even near. I mean, go back to Sinead O'Connor. Look that up. Like, this is not even near that. Okay, so was it controversial at the time? I mean, a little bit, but people knew what Kanye, the MAGA thing, people knew it, so it wasn't like anything like, oh my God, it's so unexpected, you know? So it was par for the course. I'm going to put this in the waves tier. Next one, Kanye West interrupting, basically ranting against Gretchen Wilson at the American Music Awards in 2005. Now, Kanye West was nominated for Best New Artist, and along that category was Gretchen Wilson. I think it was a country music artist. And Kanye West was not happy about this. He thought that he should have been awarded Best New Artist. And he was basically just ranting, saying, you stole my award. And this will be the only time that he would ever interrupt the awards show ever again. Because Kanye learned this lesson. For all of you who talk about the Taylor Swift thing, mind you, he did this way before that ever happened to Gretchen Wilson. And so, with all that being considered, Gretchen Wilson, she hit it first. It wasn't controversial. It was, like I said, it was nowhere near the publicity of Taylor Swift. And listen, Gretchen Wilson, maybe if you're a Gretchen Wilson fan, good for you. But Gretchen Wilson is not Taylor Swift. It's not the VMAs. This was just one of those moments where, we've seen people, listen, Old Dirty Bastard. He went up on stage. He interrupted P. Diddy's speech in the Grammys. Beastie Boys did it to Ari. This has been done before. So it was kind of tame for the moment. But it was very light. I'm going to put this in the Yandi tier. All right, next one. Kanye West has 808's Heartbreak Era. Now, nowadays, we see 808's and Heartbreak's influence. I would say it's probably one of the most influential albums to come out of the millennium. It's birthed so many careers. Drake, Kid Cudi, Lil Uzi Vert. Do I need to go on? Just so many babies spawned from this album. And it made it okay for rappers to embrace autotune, to embrace singing, to be emotionally vulnerable. All that stuff. At the time, I wasn't here for it. A lot of diehard Kanye fans weren't here for this. People, when they listen to Love Lockdown, they're like, "What the fuck is this?" Nowadays, it's people say it's a masterpiece, but back then, and just Kanye coming off of a great streak. College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation. Kanye West just could do no wrong, and at the time, Kanye didn't really switch it up. All his albums, yes, they did touch on different genres, but they were still mostly hip-hop based. There was a lot of rapping, right? But this was the first album that Kanye just completely abandoned traditional hip-hop and embraced just auto-tune and R&B and synth-pop and all that stuff. And at the time, I just thought it was a joke. I thought, what the hell is this? Like, I want Graduations Kanye. I want College Dropout Kanye. Kanye going left field. That was something that he always does and will always continue to do, which is admirable on some fronts. But in terms of, it wasn't controversial media-wise, but on a musical front, it was pretty like, whoa, like, this is weird. And yes, it was successful and did have big hits coming off of that album, but in a musical sense, nobody saw this coming from Kanye. Nobody saw this coming. So I'm going to put this in the I'm going to put this in Swish. Next one, Kanye West pays $85,000 for Daytona album cover. Now, Daytona, Pusha T album came out in 2018. This was the first of the Kanye Wyoming sessions. And I think Daytona is an incredible album. modern hip hop classic, right? Probably Pusha T's best album. And Kanye West, producer from that album, produced all the beats, all that stuff. He did an incredible job with that album, right? And he goes out and paid for the album cover. And if you look at the cover, it's actually a photo of Whitney Houston's, the scene where she died in her bathroom, and you see all the drugs on the bathroom counter. Pretty graphic. And yeah, as you can imagine, the Whitney Houston and the Brown family was not pleased about this. I just don't understand, why would you pay $85,000 for this? It has nothing to do with the album. I mean, I felt like this album could have had maybe something with cocaine or fast cars, some shit like that. Even a photo of Pusha T, looking dope. I mean, something. But this, it's just the least admirable quality about this album. It just sucks that every time I have to look at this album on Spotify or, Apple Music, or if you got it on vinyl, you gotta look at this fucking album cover. That's just horrendous and distasteful and just makes no sense. So yeah, it was pretty bad. But I'm gonna put this in the TurboGrafx 16 tier. Alright, the next one. Kanye West interrupts Taylor Swift in the VMAs. Well, this is what you've all been waiting for. This is probably one of the most bizarre moments in music to come in the millennium. Now listen, Kanye, like I said earlier, has done this before. Will he do it? I mean, I hope not. But this is arguably the magnum opus of the Kanye award show moments. This is the Sgt. Pepper, all right? This is the Joshua Tree, all right? This is the My Dark Twisted Fantasy of the Kanye award show bizarre outburst moments, because, my God, I mean, when this happened, this all everybody can fucking talk about. But just like Kanye going up and just interrupting and saying, "I'm gonna let you finish." Beyonce had the best music video of all time. And the Beyonce odd look, it's just an iconic moment in VMA's history. It's just one of those moments that everybody knows what they were doing when they saw this. And even President Obama called him a jackass, and this even set up the whole kind of like Kanye West revenge tour. Like, he retreats to Hawaii and makes arguably the best album of his career in Dark Twisted Beautiful Fantasy. It's unforgettable, really, and it was a pivot point in three careers, arguably three of the biggest artists in music: Taylor Swift, Kanye West, and Beyonce, all cross paths in this bizarre award shows moment. So yes, this has to go to the So Help Me God tier. Well, what do you know? So we go from that to the actual Kanye West Taylor Swift feud that happened in 2016. Now, I'm not gonna go through all the nuggets of this feud. I'm sure you guys are very well aware of this, but Kanye West making the song famous, saying to Taylor Swift, I think that me and Taylor Swift may have sex because I made that bitch famous. And Taylor Swift not taking it lightly, and this set the whole thing of this feud. And it just took on so many twists and turns and so many drama coming from this thing. I mean, this set up so many people got involved in this. This set up the Taylor Swift revenge moment where she makes the Reputation album and she makes her sub diss to Kanye at the 2016 Grammys. I mean, it's so weird. And then you have the whole Kanye West actually asking Taylor Swift for her permission, and Taylor Swift actually lying. I mean, it's just insane. Absolutely insane what transpired out of this feud. That's something that happened several years ago. I don't know what to make of this, but yeah, this also has to go in the So Help Me God tier, just for the incredible drama that we got out of this. The next one, Kanye West asking Mark Zuckerberg for money. So this was around the Life of Pablo rollout, and at that time Kanye West was just vomit tweeting about everything and anything, right? And then it comes out that his tweet that he's in debt, and he's literally asking Mark Zuckerberg for $53 million to support all Kanye West ideas. He doesn't lay out what ideas they are. He just says all and any and future Kanye West ideas. And as you can imagine, Mark Zuckerberg said, well, he didn't comment at all. I'm sure he had more pressing things on his mind, like Facebook and Russia. The balls to just go out and just not only just straight up ask Zuckerberg for money, but to support all Kanye West ideas. Just weird in itself. So, yeah, I'm going to put this in the swish tier. Kanye West actually going to the Trump Tower and visiting Donald Trump. Now, this was in late 2016, and Donald Trump was just the president-elect, I believe. The fact that Kanye West actually went and visited Donald Trump, I mean, that photo right there just says it all, doesn't it? It just says it all. And this would not be the last time that Kanye West would visit his good old friend, Donald Trump. But at the time, a lot of celebrities were going up and visiting him. I think Steve Harvey did. I don't remember if this was before or after Steve Harvey visited Donald Trump. But Kanye West posing a photo with Donald Trump is something that is going to be unforgettable as well. So, yes, I'm going to put this in the So Help Me God tier. God, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall to hear, to be in that meeting. I mean, this is literally the modern day Elvis Nixon meeting, the iconic Elvis Nixon meeting that happened 50 years ago. This is physically the modern version of that. So, this is definitely going to be a classic in time. Kanye West, the Sway interview. This is during the Yeezus era of Kanye, and this is when Kanye. I think this is the beginning of Kanye just going off the wall, just saying just weird and random things, and this is an iconic interview. I mean, the house. So much great lines from this interview. You know, how Sway, you ain't got the answers. Kanye trying to start up his fashion thing and saying, well, they ain't trying to let me be in. You know, I'm trying to be the next Calvin Klein. You know, they want Walt Disney. They ain't trying to let me be in. And Sway, God bless Sway, he's trying to be, you know, calm, cool, collected, because he could have easily got on that bullshit and say, you know, Kanye, you're acting like a dumbass. But Sway held his cool, and he was saying, like, you know, being rational and saying, like, yo, Kanye, like, what are you talking about? You know, like, why don't you just start your own thing? And Kanye's like, you ain't got the answer, Sway. How am I supposed to have all the answers, Sway? Just classic Kanye. So yes, this is going in the So Help Me God tier. Jesus Walks, more so the video than the song, because, you know, anything dealing with religion, you know, definitely a lot of people are on edge about it, especially here in America. But Kanye West, you have to remember, this is College Dropout, right? I would argue that this was the song that kind of brought a lot of people's attention to Kanye. Yes, he dropped Through the Wire. Yes, All Falls Down. But Jesus Walks is one of Kanye's most iconic songs. And what he is talking about in the song, dealing with religion, is something that he would tackle for most of his career. I mean, he literally made a gospel album not too long ago, and we don't know what Donda's going to sound like. Maybe he'll continue that aspect. But Kanye West dealing with religion, dealing with Christianity, that temptation, good and the evil, it's a theme. It's a major theme in his music. But Jesus Walks was kind of like the first, like, big song to really tackle those issues. And really, the whole video of him, this Messiah figure and all that stuff, you know, at the time in hip-hop, Christian hip-hop was kind of like its own thing, you know. It never really got played on the radio. It never really got respect. wasn't really until like artists like Lecrae and NF that really Christian hip hop began to get some mainstream exposure. But Christian hip hop, it was its own subgenre. It was pushed aside. But Kanye making a secular song dealing with religious themes at the time, nobody was doing this. Nobody was tackling these themes. I mean, yes, people talk about God and all that stuff, but like a song talking about Jesus walks and just talking about religion heavily, and being played in the clubs. And yeah, I'll give Kanye credit. He got a song about Jesus to go crazy in the clubs. I mean, if people were drinking their wine and their communion bread, all that stuff. But at the time, it was slightly controversial. But it's because it's such a great song and it's not overly offensive, I'm gonna put this in the good ass job tier. And this is a great segue to the Kanye West Rolling Stone cover, his first ever Rolling Stone cover, when he's actually posed as Jesus Christ. And it says the passion of Kanye West, and him comparing himself to Jesus Christ in this interview. Yeah, this definitely turned some heads. This definitely turned some heads. Yeah, I'm going to put this in the So Help Me God tier. Just, yeesh. Yeah. Kanye West and the whole donda rollout. So as we all know, and this is an ongoing thing. This is currently happening. Now, donda was supposed to be released, I believe, a week ago. And, I mean, I don't think it could have taken a rocket scientist to figure out that Kanye West, when he says he's going to release an album on a set date the first time, it never happens. I mean, he's done this all the way back to, Twisted Fantasy. I mean, the guy never is set on his album titles, on his release dates. I don't know why people bought into this. It's literally The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I mean, I'm calling Kanye The Boy Who Cried album. But, yes, donda, I guess, is going to be released next week. I mean, listen, when the album comes out, it'll come out. I'll talk about it. I'm not going to fucking, have these videos. Is donda going to release in this date, or is donda not going to be? No, I'm not falling for the fucking banana tailpipe, alright? I'm not going to be fucking Charlie Brown falling for the football and the Lucy. I'm not falling for that shit, alright? When it was released, it'll be released. Kanye West doing a listening party in a football stadium. That's a new one. And him basically holding the stadium hostage so he can finish mixing and recording the album. Yeah, only Kanye would do that. That's a new one. That in terms of Kanye being his most Kanye, this is definitely the most Kanye-ist, musical-wise, moments. And if you look at what he was wearing to the listening party, just taking the whole mask, social distancing thing to a whole new level. I'm not going to put it too high because this is an ongoing thing, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this. I'm going to put this in the waves tier, but this could potentially be a TurboGrafx upgrade. We'll see. Kanye and Jay-Z feud that happened in 2016. So Kanye on his St. Pablo tour, actually during his set, ranting, supporting Trump, and then bashing Jay-Z and Beyonce, saying that they never came to his wedding, they never supported him and Kim, and just revealing all this stuff, this dirty laundry about him and Jay-Z out in the public. And then he throws his microphone down and he just leaves and says he's canceling the tour, and he just stops the tour. Now, the St. Pablo tour was definitely troublesome, problematic. I think one of the shows, literally they had to tell him that his wife was being robbed in Paris, and he just left the concert. But for him to actually just end it on a rant, I think he only performed maybe 3 or 4 songs, and just end the concert right there, and people just being fierce in refund. Just very puzzling moment. And just bashing Jay-Z and Beyonce. Jay-Z, listen, love or hate Jay-Z, you cannot deny the fact that Jay-Z put Kanye on the map. He's helped him through his career. gave him the boost, when gave him that nice, clean Jay-Z dust whenever he could. Well, guys, I think my video stopped recording, so I had to go fix that issue. So back to what I was saying about the Kanye West and Jay-Z feud. So I think in terms of their relationship, the fallout with that, given their history with, the Rockefeller thing all the way back to the 90s, it sucks. It's pretty sad. And Jay-Z, like I said, he's not the best at keeping friends. Dame Dash, Beanie Siegel, not an easy guy to be an ally for. But I think that given the bond between these two, and the respect that they have for each other, who knows? Maybe we'll have something in the future. Maybe they'll kiss and make up. But as of right now, it doesn't seem to be going too well in these two camps. But bashing your friend, your ex-friend, and stopping a concert and canceling the tour, that was pretty big. So I'm gonna put this in the TurboGrafx 16 tier. Next one, Kanye West going on MTV interview with Sway back in 2004, addressing homophobia in hip hop. Now, this was at a time where Kanye and Sway had nice interviews. Like when they had civil, calm, intellectual interviews, right? And this was back in 2004, I believe, when Kanye West was just coming on the scene. And I remember watching this interview on MTV Live when I was very young. And Kanye West, I think the major thing that came out of this interview, besides, just talking about his career, but we went on this interview and he actually talked about, how homophobia is rampant in hip-hop, and he's not really with that. And, for a major hip-hop artist to talk about this, especially with the platform that Kanye had at the time, what's a big deal? You didn't really see, I don't know if any rappers talking about this issue in interviews. And certainly, 2004, nowadays it's just a completely different, we have gay rappers, bisexual rappers, lesbian rappers, different LGBTQ represented rappers in the game today. But back in the day, this was pretty taboo, and unfortunately, we're having rappers still, doing homophobic stuff in their music. Kanye just saying this, I think, was a breath of fresh air, and very commendable at the time. And Kanye has supported LGBT voices in music. Of course, he's worked with Tyler, the Creator, many times. He's worked with Frank Ocean. So, in terms of controversy, I'm gonna put this in the waves tier. The next one, Kanye pissing on the Grammys. I think this is fairly recent, and I think this was coming off of Kanye being mad. I don't know. I think he was mad about the Grammys for some reason. He's always had some weird moments with the Grammys. Now, ironically, Kanye is one of the most awarded Grammy musicians ever. I think he has maybe close to 30 Grammys. He's up there. He's definitely been nominated a lot of times. But the way that Kanye tells it, it makes it seem like he's never won a Grammy before, and he's always getting shunned. So Kanye actually literally posting a photo of him peeing on a Grammy was pretty hilarious. Now, if this was his only Grammy and he took this stance, I would have been like, all right, that's pretty badass. But Kanye has a lot of Grammys. you know. So I don't know what it's not a huge deal. I mean, if he would have took all his Grammys, put it in his backyard, and lit them on fire and say "fuck you, Grammys," I mean, that would have been badass. But listen, the Grammys, by now we all know how much they kind of suck. How much all the kind of ballyhoo of the political connections, it's a popularity contest, and we just literally came through with the thing with the weekend, and we know the Grammys don't base these things on merit, So for Kanye to take this stance now in 2021, it's nothing to really get our minds blown about. So I'm gonna put this in the Yandi tier. At least we didn't see his penis. That would have been pretty horrifying. Next one, Kanye West saying President Bush does not care about black people. This is in 2005, as we know. This was the Hurricane Katrina telethon, and man, poor Mike Myers, man. He's forever intertwined in this moment with Kanye West, and this is a pretty surreal moment. I mean, for all of you who don't remember, it's the Hurricane Katrina telethon. Mike Myers is saying, the usual telethon stuff like, hey, donate to this and this and this. And, just saying, going on script, and Kanye West literally, just after Mike Myers, he's building up this telethon. He's doing a great job. I'm sure the producer's like, yeah, Mike. Yeah, thank you, Mike. Off the camera, thank you so much. Kanye literally just kills the momentum. He says, President Bush doesn't care about black people. And then Mike Myers, he looks at the camera, he looks at Kanye, and then he looks at the camera again, and he's baffled. He's literally scared shitless. He turned pale white, whiter than he already is. And then it cuts to Chris Tucker eating donuts in the back. I mean, it was one of the most surreal TV moments I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure it's on YouTube now, but at the time, this was what the fuck? Now, not gonna get into the political thing, but the sentiment at the time when Kanye did this, a lot of people in the black community were like, Kanye's pretty ballsy, man. And, for him to actually say this, and President Bush was not popular at the time, and so for Kanye to say this and make this political stance, and in retrospect with the whole Katrina fallout and what happened, Kanye was kind of on the right side of history on this. So many people would say, and I think it brought a lot of people's attention. If you didn't know who Kanye West was, I think a lot of people knew who Kanye West was. And it's just so weird to see him with the Trump thing. It's just, and the whole slavery's not a choice. I mean, it is. I mean, listen, we already talked about that. But speaking of this moment, yeah, this definitely got him in a lot of hot water. So I definitely gotta put this in the "So Help Me God" tier. Because yeah, I mean, people were criticizing President Bush, and we had the Dixie Chicks doing it at the time. But for Kanye West to do this on a telethon for Hurricane Katrina, unexpected. Yeah, this was definitely shocking. Next one, the Wiz Khalifa Kanye West feud. Another very bizarre feud that happened in the 2016 Life of Pablo rollout era of Kanye. One of those just things that just grown men feuding about stupid stuff. Wiz Khalifa, talking about Kanye West, how he's calling the album Waves. At the time, Life of Pablo was going to be called Waves, and Kanye West was saying he was being wavy, and Wiz Khalifa says, you're biting off of Max B because he's the most wavy rapper, and you can't call an album Waves because somebody else called it Waves, and it's just what the fuck are we talking about? It's a fucking album title, you know what I mean? Who cares? So Kanye goes on Twitter, as he always does, and, claims, hey Wiz, that son you have with Amber Rose, he's my son now. I'm his father now. Mind you, he's talking about an ex-girlfriend not his wife, right? He's talking about an ex-girlfriend he had years ago, and Kanye West claiming that he is his father. All because Wiz Khalifa made fun of his album title. Just truly bizarre stuff, but definitely just typical Kanye being Kanye. But because Kanye during that rollout was saying tons of bizarre stuff, this was definitely on the least controversial side of it. So I'm gonna put it in the waves tier. Okay. And last but not least, the Kanye West famous music video. Now, like I said earlier, Kanye West talking about Taylor Swift. I made that bitch famous. And then he rolls out this music video, and it's basically kind of like a Last Supper ordeal, but everybody's naked, and you have like Donald Trump and Chris Brown and Rihanna and Taylor Swift and just Kanye West with Kim Kardashian being naked, and it's just the music video is just a mosaic of these like 12 celebrities, right? Just laying in bed with each other, and people were saying, "Oh, is this porn? Is this an artistic statement? Is this commerce? All this stuff." So yeah, this was pretty weird music video. Pretty for Kanye music videos, and he's had some pretty wacky, iconic music videos. Some were good, some were just fucking weird. This is debatable. Some people have supported this video, saying Kanye's making good art. Some people are saying it's distasteful. Kanye's making bad art. It's pornographic. Wherever you wage on this debate, you can argue that this was a pretty shocking sentiment coming from this song, the Taylor Swift Fallout, making this music video. But it did get nominated for awards. I think it got nominated for Video of the Year award for VMAs. Even though MTV does not show videos or has never shown this video on their programming, but it still got nominated for VMAs. So I'm gonna put this in the Turvo Graphics 16 tier. Controversial, but not quite, up to the song we got tier. It's up there. So yeah, that is my tier list for Kanye's most controversial moments. Let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think of this tier list? I'm sure Kanye has had a lot of moments that I probably forgot, but this video is long enough. So yeah, YouTube recommends these two reviews to check out after this one. Love you guys. Until next time, peace.